But yeah, I tried to find different ways to try to improve my sound quality and whatnot, and it turns out, unless I plan on investing like $1,000 on a mic and a rig and a mixer for it, it's not feasible.
Can I just give you one tip to improve your audio quality?
Stop yelling.
Podcasts from your home rather than the car, rather than the car, rather than the airport, rather than the hotel. Just use the microphone that you've currently got.
I want to be part of the group. Fine. All right.
And
I hate missing a podcast. I really do.
The laptop in the car with the microphone.
Yeah, like they do for comedians in cars getting coffee, stuff like that. You just set some cameras and some mics, and you'll be all set.
Respawn.
What?
I've got your number one fan here.
Yeah.
He's listening.
Yeah.
Went out.
There you are.
Wait, what? Did he say I cut out?
Your audio.
It's every time he goes loud, he cuts out.
He does. Right.
I didn't go loud that time.
Yeah.
Did I really cut out? Son of a...
That's the microphone.
Okay. Not only is my software not running, I am not close to the mic, and I didn't get loud, and I still cut out? No.
So what questions have you got for Respawn this week?
Nothing.
You normally have a ton of questions for Respawn.
That's it. Lies.
That's it.
All lies.
Just no questions.
Now, who's your favourite host on the podcast? Is it me, Parody, or Respawn?
Respawn.
And why is it Respawn?
Obviously.
Because your kids got good taste. That's why.
Because all children love Respawn.
You have to say yes or no.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. A show where we discuss tips, tricks and tools, and all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTube vlogs, but those are both live now. We just have a passion for Destiny and just dedicated to keep Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 information, which Respawn always says.
This kid's great, man.
And opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback. You can contact us by email twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, on Twitter 2titansandahunter. Now on with the show.
There you go.
Well done.
Filled with lies.
Anyway.
Podcast.
That's amazing.
No, we tell people that every week. It's definitely not a podcast.
It's not. It's just us hanging out.
Everything
talking
on
trash.
here is lies.
Right, you're definitely being cut out of the show this week.
No.
Everything I hear is lies.
Why don't you just sit in for me? You could do the show, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
He probably could.
Where would be the Night Demon in it? Where would be the other Titan? I barely play Titan.
Well, tell Respawn what you normally play as.
A Titan.
But then why are you saying you barely play as a Titan? That makes no sense.
No, because I don't play as the old Titan.
Oh, makes sense.
I only play as a Titan
He plays his Titan, not your Titan.
Yeah.
Your Titan is obviously subpar, okay?
Right.
That was funny.
So
We're
you
not streamers to
need to do
YouTubers.
introductions,
That's
so
lies,
who are you,
obviously.
who am I, and who
Wait, so it's just Respawn.
No
it's not
parodies
just
here.
Respawn. So who are you? You are. What's your gamer tag?
Fenix the Demon.
Okay, and what's my gamer tag?
Night Demon.
And what's their gamer tags?
Parody and Respawn.
There you go. And welcome people to the show. Come on.
Welcome to the show.
Let's go.
Now, would you like to tell people what's happening next week in Destiny?
Next week in Destiny, increase your Gabbit gains with triple infamy all week long. Track the Herald of X-Long in Strange Terrain, Nightfall, the Ordeal, Fight, Clash, and Breakthrough. Return to the Crucible.
You have to ask Parody what's Breakthrough.
What's Breakthrough, though?
Ask Parody. Ask Parody. Say
I do
Parody.
not like Breakthrough, and I don't
Ask
even
Parody.
know what
Say
it is.
Parody. What's Breakthrough?
What is Breakthrough? Yeah, I've been saying this a million times, and you keep saying, ask Parody, and I keep saying it a million times.
Well, you're asking me. Ask Parody. Say Parody.
You have to
Yeah, I'm
specify,
speaking into the
hey,
mic.
parody. Oh, I'm speaking into the mic. He's like, shut up, Dad. I know what I'm doing.
Dad, you're cramping my style. So breakthrough is when players fight to control the middle zone of the map. Then the team who controls that middle zone needs to break through to the opposite zone and capture it. And if they don't control the middle zone, then they have to defend their zone and prevent the other team from capturing it. And there's a timer, so when the timer runs out, whoever has more zones wins.
I'm pretty much sure this is called lockdown. Because last week you said lockdown is this.
No, this is breakthrough. Lockdown is a modified version of control where you have to lock the zones. This is capture B and then fight for A or C.
There you go. See, that he's told you.
That's just control. So that means all I have to do is go to the start and just then go to B.
Yeah.
If more people would just listen to that and follow those instructions, I would have had so much easier time last week trying to play.
For real. I mean, look, it takes the innocence of a child to break it down to a way that adults can understand. Isn't that sad?
Maybe that's
just
sad. Maybe we need to have him explain how these crucible modes work, and then people will understand them. Versus looking at the zone going, yeah, I know they've captured 2 of our zones and are going for the lockdown, but no, we don't need this 3rd zone alone and just go run off into the distance somewhere.
I've got it. Every time we get a new activity, we write down the description, and Parody's son analyzes it and then gives us how it really works.
One flaw in your plan.
What's that?
I have no son.
I meant Night Demon. I always say Parody's son. You know what?
Night Demon's only got one son, and that's me.
Respawn is desperately trying to give me children.
Yeah, hey.
Every time respawns, his respawn time gets longer and longer.
That's right. I'm still waiting on my next one.
What? You want me to read that?
No, I don't want you to read that. It's fine.
You got all the secret things on there.
You got all the secret things? Excuse me? Yo, hold up. No, hey, keep reading, little dude. What's he got?
He got this week at Bungie from in 2020 being sneaky and not letting me read it.
Oh, sneaky demon. How dare you be sneaky? And he's gone? Question mark? Oh, that was amazing. That intro, though. We're not streamers or YouTubers. That's obviously a lie. Hey, what makes us different? The fact that we subcontracted children to do our jobs. There we go.
I don't know. When you need to do something like go on the phone, you ask me to play on your account for you.
Oh, called out on the air. Hey, he's going to edit that out. So say it like 100 times. That way he has to go through and edit out every time you say that.
So I need some nightfalls being run. Go on, off you go.
What nightfalls?
Just say goodbye to the guys.
Why?
Because
I thought I was taking over.
The Padawan becomes the master.
I thought I'd take it over. That's it. I'm done. I'm done for the week. All right, let's go. Parody's kid has just made our entire show. We don't even need the rest. All right? We don't even need the rest. That's it. Game over, man. I thought I had taken over the show. You are a genius among kids, okay? You're 100 years ahead of your time, and your dad should praise you for the omnipotence that you have.
no, nothing.
Yeah, you're scrolling down on the sneaky fingers.
I missed that. What did he say?
He's scrolling down, so I can't even read the top of it.
Well, what do you want to read?
The whole thing.
He scrolled it down.
September 17th.
Yeah, that's today.
No, it's not today.
Yes, it is.
Yes, why am I here if we're just going to have Phoenix do the show? Phoenix can do the show this week, and we'll just call it a day. We got this.
And to be fair, he's already proven he could read better than all three of us combined.
You're not wrong. He did this in one take. I mean, our show just got to be like 6 minutes long.
Yeah, that's it, man. Goodness gracious! If he just reads all of our stuff, we
this
would.
Week at Bungie, but last week.
Yeah, well, you tell the people what happened last week.
Last week, a new exotic became available to add to your collection and celebrate Destiny's birthday. I'm still keeping an eye out for some pictures, attempts, and making the cake things are still a little quieter this week, which makes it a great time to take your advantage or double being offered for completion.
Double rewards.
Double rewards for being offered for completing of the ordeal this week. Love you, see you when a bug comes because of what was that?
You love to see.
No, I meant what was that? What was that thing?
That's Parody typing extra notes.
Why is he doing that?
Is
he being like demony?
Yeah. Just finish reading what it says there.
You love to see it when a bug
becomes
a feature.
Speaking of upcoming features,
Dad is never ever going to be on the podcast again.
Right, you can go now.
No, my podcast.
My podcast?
No, you can't, because I can mute it and I can get you out of the
room. No muting! No.
It's my podcast. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Are you sure I'm not his dad? He acts a lot more like me than you, dude. It's my podcast now.
I really appreciate he has the same lack of inflection when reading.
Yeah, exactly. He sounds like a little robot. It's great. Oh my God. This show is already so hilarious, and we're not even 10 minutes into it yet.
That went horribly wrong, that plan.
No, that was great. That was great.
He's been on at me all week that he wants to speak to Respawn. So I said, I'm doing the podcast now. You can come in and speak to Respawn and maybe do the intro. And he said, yeah. He got to the microphone and completely froze. But then when you two started talking, he was like, well, I'm just going to argue with you. And that's it. I'm just going to talk to you and argue. And
I have no problem with any of that. He's a natural.
Yes, but it was the point where he was going to take over the show that I could see it going downhill rapidly. And you two wouldn't have stopped it.
No, absolutely not.
No, I would have just stepped away and been like, all right, he's got this. He's a more confident leader than all of us.
He obviously has talent. And, if he wanted to, just run the show, I would just be here to give him, topics to talk about. Yeah.
So... Where did we get to before we were derailed?
We got to the customizable
What happened
ghosts.
last week at Bungie?
So that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So this is the big news of the week, isn't it? There's nothing else this week. I mean, there's a few bits, but this is the big thing that's going to happen in Beyond Light, that we're going to have a chance of customizing our ghosts.
See, I've had a really busy last 2 weeks, right? And the only time I came online was to finish off my catalyst for the Outbreak Perfected. So I heard about the ghost modifications, but what does it do? Is it just like to give us like faster sparrows or whatever, or does it actually help our guardian?
Well, lucky for you, this is the podcast to listen to that will give you all the information, Respawn, as we do each week, and get hot takes from you each week.
Let's get it.
Mina Jasinski is here to tell us all the good news about the ghost coming in Beyond Light. So the ghost shells will now have an energy level and access to mods with various energy costs instead of being preloaded with specific perks. So 95% of the ghosts you have now are trash and will always be trash because they're linked to planets that you won't have anymore. So now you'll have ghosts you can actually use versus that one ghost you never take off for the last 2.5 years.
You say that, but later on in the explanation, they go into that they're going to kind of generalize the shells. So rather than it just say it's an EDZ ghost, it's going to be a generalist shell of it will locate resources and chests on planets, I think.
That should have been done years ago.
Well, actually, this treatment has been applied to all ghosts outside of the generalist shell, so you can use your favorite ghost shells regardless of tier. The selection of mods will be available on all ghost shells by default, while the remaining ones will be obtainable via various gameplay sources. Information on where to find those can be learned from collections, and I'm sure they'll tell us more about that later. Ghost mods will be obtained from gameplay reward loops and will not be purchasable from Eververse. And Ghost will now have 4 mod slots. 3 are unlocked by default, and the 4th is unlocked when you masterwork the Ghost shell. So yeah.
Now, what about the skins though? Are they gonna make all of our other Ghost shells cosmetic so we can apply it like armor armor stuff?
This is going to be the way of getting you to play the game over and over again, like we've got with the armor. Unlike the armor, it's not going to be locked to a certain amount of seasons. You're going to get whichever Ghost shell that you want. You're going to select it. You're going to go, right, I'm going to upgrade this one, and I'm going to put these amount of perks on it. And then you're going to pick another one, and you're going to put different perks on it. So say you've got one set up for strikes, you've got one set up for Gambit, and you've got one set up for Crucible, and then a general one if you're kind of doing public events and planet stuff. So you're
maybe one set up for each of the different raids.
Yeah,
extra damage or defense against Cabal, Fallen, etc.
Yeah, you could set it up how you want it, depending on what the mods are. But the idea is that you can then just pull the Ghost shells out of your collections or get ones from Eververse or wherever they drop in the game, and you'll be able to put the mods on and level it up. Don't know what the cost is at the moment of masterworking these things. It's probably going to be cores and shards and things like that. So
yeah, and the nice thing about this is, no matter whether you purchase your Ghost from Eververse, earn it in the newest raid, or pull an old favorite from collections, your Ghost will have access to the same mods across your account.
Oh,
and from there you can increase your energy levels on your favorite Ghost and set them, with each of the different mod combinations. And they talk a little bit about what we're going to get. So we'll have, in the 4 total mod slots, they'll each have a unique mod selection. So you can't it doesn't sound like you'll be able to stack 2 or 3 of the same things, but there will be an experience mod slot, a tracking mod slot, an economic mod slot, and an activity mod slot. And the activity one is the one you get when you unlock your Ghost when you masterwork it.
Yeah, so it sounds very similar to the ones that I've been saying that I've got at the moment. So I've got one that's got 10% XP gains anywhere, and then I've got a 10% XP gain for Gambit or Crucible in a separate slot. So it sounds like the possibility of still being able to get an increase in 10% XP or up to 12%, as it shows in one of the pictures, and then in a separate mod slot further on down the line saying it's an activity, you could possibly get another one that says get another 10% in this activity or up to 12%, whichever they decide they're going to put the cap on. So you could possibly get, if it's going to be added to it, like say 16% in total XP, which is quite a good gain. And then if they're going to continue with the XP that we get at the beginning of the week, like it's for every 5 levels or the first 5 levels of your character in XP that week, you get an extra, is it 10% or 20% or something like that? So be quite good for stacking with bounties and things still. It still sounds like a very good viable option for gaining XP and working out, rather than kind of just hoping that Ghost shell comes up with the random rolls if you keep purchasing it from collections.
So
what you want it to be.
A couple of things that haven't been cleared up. Is this backwards compatible to our existing Ghosts? So if you have a Ghost that you already love the look of, some people might like the one with the little party hat or whatever, right? Just say it.
As long as it's in your collection, yes, you can pull it out of your collection and it will have these slots on it.
Oh, nice, dude.
So I don't know if they're going to say like what they did with your weapons in your collections for the last season. They're going to update those. So what happened with, like I was explaining to you, it was last week or the week before, the weapons and armor that you've gained in Scourge of the Past, Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, they've all been updated with power levels to 1360, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether the Ghosts that you've currently got on your Guardians at the moment will suddenly be converted, or they will stay as they are, and then you just pull one out of the collections or purchase one from Eververse, whatever, a new one will come out. So a bit like we had with the Armor 1.0, you can still have Armor 1.0 in your collections as long as you don't dismantle it.
But you could also get collections.
Oh, sorry, yeah, in your vault or on your person. But if you dismantle it, you kind of lose that. So I'm hoping that it's very similar to the Armor 1.0, because some of the Ghosts I like the way that I've got set up now. And if they kind of completely wipe them and just start them off as just a various amount of energy, and then I have to put different mods on, I guess it's all right. But I like the ones that I've got set up now for what I've got.
Exactly.
I've only got a few.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope it's going to be like the Armor 1.0, that it stays there if I've still got it available in my collection, or on my person or in my vault.
That's my guess, is they're not going to override the ones you already have. Of course, I think I said that last time. Oh, they won't do this to the things you have on you, and then they went and did. So 50-50 could go either way. Yeah, it's on the same vein of we're separating form from function. You have a thing, it can look different and do different things versus versus being locked to here's the ghost you got with Glimmer Harvester from Io for the 9th time, and you're like, well, it's a very pretty ghost, but I'm never going to use you because you don't help me for anything. So I'm just happy to have ghosts I can put on and spec out, have my 5 or 6 ghosts and spec them the way I want versus having the 5 or 6 that do the thing I need to do and don't really care how they look.
Yeah, and it's also really hard to get something that has like Speed Demon and extra 10% XP from all sources. There's only 2 ghosts that can even get that role in the game, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, the ones that I have on my characters right now, I don't want to lose those. If I can spec out the new ones to have that maybe plus, I don't know, extra damage to Fallen and extra defense from Fallen for like a raid or something, then yeah, cool. But, those are my 2 important features that I want more than anything else. Is I want my Speed Demon and I want my plus 10% XP from all sources, right?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, that's why I threw the one on from Guardian Games, because they all dropped with those 2 perks, and I haven't changed it since or thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to do something more interesting, but I have all these other ghosts that just aren't useful to me because it gives me Treasure Hunter, Public Defender. Cool, but not what I'm looking for.
Treasure Hunter is good, and also Resource Finder is good too. Like if you got to run around doing those stupid little find me quests, those work great for those, But me being a hunter, all I have to do is swap my hunter tree, and I automatically get Advanced Radar. But if you're not a hunter, those come in handy,
And if you're interested in knowing which one of the generalist shell is, it's a white shell, but it's like green background, so it's a common shell to drop. And it's available in the Risk Road mission, which is the exotic mission. I think that you eventually get the Risk Runner at the end of, and it's the one that you go back to the Cosmodrome. And if you destroy the Fallen Walker, you can open up the chest, and it'll give you a chance of getting the generalist shell, the original Arcadia ship from Destiny 1, and something else from Destiny 1, I can't remember. But it's that quest that you can pick up from Banshee. That's where you get the generalist shell from.
Nice. Chiropterian shell. These 2 ghost shells they're giving us look dope. Oh, it's the vampire bat. Ah, look at that.
Yeah, I'm going to guess maybe these are tied to the Halloween event because it's back.
Well, we already have these. I have one of these already.
Oh,
I think they're just using an existing ghost shell to give us an example. Yeah,
probably.
Man,
again, I have lots of them, and I throw most of them away because why think about switching them? But this is nice. You can actually, again, form and function. I can use a thing how I want to use it, not what it happened to come with.
See, I can see the first one looks like experience, right? That's usually the symbol that pops up when we go up in level, right? So the second one is obviously Treasure Hunter. Third one is Glimmer. And then there's, what is that, teeth? Is that teeth inside a circle? So Crucible, Crucible, Gambit, Vanguard. More Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard. Oh, experience up in the Crucible. Oh, okay.
Nice. Yeah. So 2 of the, they've got like 2 of the ones called out. The Blinding Light, which is the experience mod, which will give you, like the one they have, I guess there's different tiers. So on the 6th tier of this one, it'll give you increase your XP gains by 12%. And then the second one they show is the Greater Core Harvest Vanguard.
Yeah, I see that too.
Greater Core Harvest, Crucible, Gambit, Greater Core Harvest and other things, which again, sort of that same, or maybe, or actually no, not a 6th tier. Sorry, no. It probably costs 6.
Though, dude.
No, but it probably costs 6 energy to use.
It does. It does. Yeah. 6 energy costs at the top right there.
Yeah. Oh, right. Thank you. See, reading. If only here. Yeah, so defeating bosses in the Vanguard playlist strikes where Nightfalls has a chance to award an Enhancement Prism.
Enhancement Prism?
Yeah. So so that's the Greater Core Harvest, because I saw that they talked about, I think, like a Lesser Core Harvest up in the 12.
Probably the 4 right there next to it.
Yeah,
probably.
So they talked about, like, you could get the Guiding Light, your Lesser Core Harvest for Crucible, for instance, and you run that set of perks. So it's nice, if you're grinding through strikes or crucible, or if it's Iron Banner week and you're like, I'm gonna do nothing but this, spec out to give yourself a chance to get some more enhancement prisms, get some more materials for the thing you're actually playing.
This is great. This is some of the best news I've seen from Bungie, I don't know, ever.
Yeah, I'm just super happy they've taken a thing that I haven't even given a second thought to and made it something viable.
Not just viable, but like I mean, this right here, the chance to drop enhancement prisms, cores, and whatever, right? That brings so much more value to the Ghost than I can even elaborate on right now, man. Your Ghost can give you cores and prisms? Excuse me? Yo, what? Dude, forget experience. My Ghost is always going to have this for every activity that I'm in.
Right.
Jeez.
I like the fact that you don't have to just do Nightfalls. It can work in the Strike playlist as well, which is really nice.
And according to these symbols, it looks like it also works in Gambit and Crucible. And yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing with Gambit, it's going to... I'm not actually sure with Gambit. If we're going down to one mode, it'll just be Gambit that it'll have a chance to drop in. But like with Crucible, it'll probably cover everything from just like normal control straight through to Trials of Osiris as well. But then, like you said, there's other symbols that are underneath that do different things that are at different costs. Mm-hmm. And until Beyond Light drops, we're not going to be able to look in the collections because that patch isn't going to be around until that day. So we're not going to have any data miners going, oh, well, this mod can do this. Oh, well, this mod can do that.
Maybe we don't need data miners. We just need observation, right? So if they've shown us the greater core harvest at 6 with that symbol, right, for Vanguard, it's got the same symbol right there for Gambit and the same symbol right there for Crucible with the same cost. So greater core harvest for Gambit and Crucible, right? Yeah. And then the 4 is probably the lesser, right? So you have a cost of 10 energy. You can put on a lesser and a greater to increase core production, man. That's amazing.
Definitely is. I think I'm going to probably spec out about 5 or 6 different shells and just transfer them in between my characters.
Absolutely.
Pick your favorite shell. This is my Gambit shell. This is my Crucible shell. This is my Vanguard shell.
This is my Raid shell.
That's how you got the slots now. If I can open a menu and get into these mods in under an hour, I'll be very happy. That's all I want to do Xbox. It's the only thing I want. I don't care about anything else.
That'll be on the new Xbox. You'll be able to do that.
Yeah,
easy peasy.
That's what I hope. We'll see. That's all my dream is. Hitting the button, getting the thing.
Talking about enhancement cores and enhancement prisms, this week that Nightfall double rewards has been absolutely fantastic. The best one to do is the 1050. Find an LFG group. There's lots of them that are just doing farming. As long as you've kind of got a falling guillotine, you've got different specs for like I think it's match game. So make sure that you've got one gun for each element or a grenade for the third element and just go to town. It's one of the shortest Nightfalls. It's absolutely fantastic this week. As an example, I only played yesterday for a couple of hours. I have now got 5 golf balls. So I've got 5 Ascendant Shards. And that is basically just getting the enhancement prisms. So I had 50 drop in the end, or 58 to drop in the end. I had none to start off with. And just doing the farming, because it only takes like about 10, 15 minutes a run if you've got a really good group. And I got over 50 of these, the prisms, and then converted them into shards. So I've now got 5 golf balls, which is the most I've ever had in one season.
That is awesome.
And then if you can't do that, just do the enhancement cores that you can get from the 1020 version, because they just drop like candy as well. And the most that I had on doing the 1050, I had 5 enhancement prisms from doing one run.
See, that's great, but I don't know if you know this, okay? There's a ghost shell coming out in November, which is going to make it way easier to farm all these things.
Yes. But if I can masterwork a piece of armor before I get going in something and just build up the rest of my stockpile later on, I'm going to be happy.
As long as I can get a ghost that can drop me enhancement cores, I am always at a deficit of enhancement cores at any given time. There
you are.
So I need a ghost that's just going to drop those like candy.
So I shouldn't tell you that I have 1,000 of those sitting in my vault right now.
Yes, that's because you did a glitch.
I've got 600 on my character, 400 in the vault, 28 enhancements, and I've got 10 of the Ascendant shards.
That is amazing.
Which, yeah, 19. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, this must have just been from the glitch when I could pick up the 21% delirium over and over.
I see.
I'm guessing that's it because I certainly haven't done enough high level content to deserve any of it.
No,
but that was quite a fortuitous 15 minutes or 20 minutes that one day before they shut it off.
Damn you, Parody! Damn you!
And again, speaking of glitches and things that they thought they'd patched in the game, I can confirm from going to Mars this week and trying to unlock the nodes, the Warsat nodes, from doing I can't remember what the name of those things
the
are.
thing
now.
Everybody hates to do, that thing.
The resonant stems, and then finding your boxes, and
converting the resonant stems to the resonant frequencies to then go and open the boxes and different things. I had over 400 of the stems. Now, I thought originally, I'm sure we went over this on the podcast, that it was 3 stems that would then convert into one of the whatever they, it convert into a frequency. Now, when I went to Mars this week and converted them, it was costing 4. So I don't know if they've put the cost up or I just didn't pay attention before, but I swear it was 3 when I was working out the calculations before on the podcast.
Well, no, if you look back like in an older how-to video for like Cactus or Imtashed or whatever, right? They'll tell you. But it doesn't matter because it's 4 now, so deal with it.
Yeah, so I can confirm that they still duplicate. And I thought it was the fact that I was converting them and then dismantling them after I'd gone down the checklist, because I was using braytech.org to go do the checklist of the ones that I'd already currently done, because it's already got a list of ones that I'd done, and it said I'd done 30 out of the 40. So every time I got one that had been done, I just deleted it until I got to the point where it was then giving me ones that I hadn't done. So I was like, oh, brilliant. So this does work. If I just convert them, delete them, I'm getting rid of the stems, but then I'm also getting to the point of now it's giving me ones that I need. So I was going off and doing the ones I need to the point that I got into it was giving me a loop of about 5 or 6 of them, and it wouldn't go any further. And I thought, well, okay, maybe if I go and do one.
Yes, you do have to go do them. That's one of the things they said is
no.
Yeah, you can't just create trash. You have to actually go and pull it for it to be added to that list of ones you've done.
So I went.
Broke.
So I went and did one that I'd known I'd already done. So I thought, okay, that one will be officially off their checklist. And it then gave me another new one to do when I did that. And when I got down to, I think I'd say there was about 3 of them left. And it was just going round and round in a loop. And my stems were going down and down. I was getting down like to 150. And I was thinking, God, I'm going to be out of all of these before I can get these last 3 done. So I thought, I'm going to have to go around and actually do the last couple to see if it'll give me the 3 that I need at some point in this selection. I can tell you that it still duplicates. I went and did the one in the Warsat by the cave 3 times in 20 minutes. And I'm like, this was meant to be duplicate protection. And I know I've run to 3 times in the last 20 minutes, jumped down, avoided the night, picked up the thing, then done another search while I was there, because I only needed them. I think it was in the something descent or whatever, but they were all in the same area. So I was thinking I could stand literally anywhere else apart from that area, and it should create a resonant thing for me. I got to the point of I was down to 1 and I ran out of stems, and I thought, okay, I'll go and do a bit of farming. So I went to a lost sector, picked up a couple of bounties, or the patrols, and did those and got enough to get 1 more, and it dropped. And I was like, oh my God, I've got it to drop. So I went and did that. I then had to farm for another 4 so that I could then do just a random one for it to then drop the emblem, because as DMG warned us last week, they know it's a bug that even if you have completed all 40, you have to then go and do another one. And it's not like you can create from the stems and then dismantle it. You actually have to go and unlock it, and then the emblem drops for you. So yes, I can confirm that they still will duplicate. They will duplicate within 20 minutes, at least 3 that I got. So, and I thought after the second one, I thought I'll wait, I'll refresh Braytech, and I'll, go to a different area, then select it, and it still came up a third time. So it's not entirely fixed. And that's why I tried several different ways of kind of trying to work it out, because I thought if you're just dismantling them, do they just randomly come up in that kind of pool of collections? But then it got to the point where it was just going round and round in circles of the same 3 that I was noticing. I was like, I'm sure I've seen this one, core doorway or core elevator or something over and over again. So I end up having to go and do those. And after, I think, about 2 or 3 of them, it kind of then started in a different loop of adding different ones to it. But I thought I'd just kind of throw that in there, that I did do that test, and I can confirm that it isn't working 100%. So unfortunately, you are still
or
probably
at all
you're still gonna have to save up. And it wasn't like I'd been farming for those stems. That was over the last year or so that I just kind of, as I was on Mars doing different things for other activities, I was just letting them sit in my collections or sitting in my on my personage, and just waiting until they kind of got to the point where they said they'd fixed it, so that I could then go and do those things. But yeah,
so we're still not at that point yet, so don't waste your time.
No.
And this is why we have Night Demon.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your stems. Well, we don't need Demon to do it. Our friend Cheese Forever already confirmed what Demon just said. What, 2 weeks ago?
No, it was last week.
Last week, yeah.
But it doesn't work on the British servers either. So just in case you thought there was a difference, now, Andy, if you would the Australian servers for us, just to.
Oh my God, no, he won't do it. He'll get Good Dad to do it for him.
No, but the only reason I thought I'd go and test it, I've got 400 stems. What could go wrong?
I had 400.
I had 400 stems. That was at least 40 chances of just getting it right at least. But no,
you're gonna need like 80 chances to get it right.
So have you got any more questions about the ghost respawn that we possibly could answer?
No, it's definitely covered. I am not only informed but excited. I didn't know any of this stuff. Yeah. I'm excited about Destiny. Is something wrong with me? Do I have a temperature? No.
Now I have to go decide which of these many, many, many exotic ghosts I actually want to start using again.
All of them?
Probably the Saint 14 ghost. Let's be honest.
That's a good ghost. But there's a lot. I mean, let's be honest. There are a lot of really good ghost shells out there, man.
There are, which is why
what's the Braytech.org?
Yeah, I'm looking at my dim collection going, I remember these. I put you in the vault thinking one day you'd be good and useful again. Now we're finally going to get here. The 9 live shell, that's a kitty cat. The
right.
How do I...
You can find like what you've collected on Braytech, right? How do I find my ghost shells on Braytech?
Under collections.
Under collections. Oh, there we go. Bam. Authenticate. Oh, scary clown. Yeah, y'all continue on. I just want to. I'm feeling nostalgic. I want to look at some of my ghost shells.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, honoring a friend. Next week, we have a tribute going live in the game to honor one of our dear friends at Vicarious Visions who passed away last year, Matt Helmson. The weekly reset will include a director message that will send you to Mars for a short quest to honor Mr. Helmson. He worked closely with the teams both at Bungie and Vicarious Visions on various projects during our partnership, and we wanted to memorialize his contribution in the Destiny universe. We wish all of his family, friends, and everyone he impacted during his life the very best. Thank you to everyone in the community who joins us in remembering this warm soul.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is both amazingly cool and deeply sad, all at the same time.
Yeah, no, that Saint shell does look good though. Oh, so does the freaking Siva shell. That thing looks.
Perote, would you mind telling us what X marks the spot means?
It's not spot. First of all, learn to read.
X marking pass. Do we have a child who can read for us?
I know what it says. Oh, never mind.
So you've turned things over to me, and I'm going to turn things over to player support team with their latest on the known issues and upcoming fixes. So Xbox Game Pass and expansion availability. Next Tuesday, September 22nd, which is 3 short days away as we sit here and speak into microphones. Destiny 2 will become available on the Xbox Game Pass at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. However, players won't be able to access Forsaken or Shadowkeep until 10 a.m. Pacific Time, basically 2 hours later when hotfix 2.9.2.1 goes live. And so you might be thinking, 2.9.2.1, what does that do? So it's going live 8 a.m. Pacific, 1500 UTC, different times in your different time zones. 45 minutes later, everybody gets knocked offline, the game goes offline. And then an hour and 15, so from 8:45 Pacific to 10 a.m. Pacific, Destiny will be down. That also means all your apps will be down. No dims, no bright text, no little lights. It's all down. And at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 1700 UTC, and sometime the next day in Oz, Destiny hotfix 2.9.2.1 will be available across all platforms and regions, and players will be able to get back into Destiny 2. And an hour after that, maintenance will be expected to conclude, or it might go another hour after that. You never know. So what is this going to do? Well, it's going to fix a couple things where, actually, do they?
No, they don't.
They sure don't. So what's it going to do? Your guess is as good as mine. It's going to do a thing. I'm guessing, for one, it's going to make Forsaken and Shadowkeep available on the Game Pass, which may be all it does. But I'm sure they'll sneak some more things into it. But I'm sure that's the main thing it's doing. They also know that earlier today, Bungie announced that the clans are no longer receiving their XP gains from Lewis. It's not really Hawthorne. We all know the birds, the brains behind the operation here. So Hawthorne's weekly challenges can no longer be completed. Basically, their investigation found that trying to fix these issues could result in all clans losing their ranked. So we're just going to stop gaining clan ranks at this point in the season and start again when the new season drops November 10th. And Fellwinter's Helm changes to the Warlock Solstice Ornament, glows to another glow. So 2 minor issues.
I feel sorry for the people with the clans, because there are a lot of people saying that we were close to getting a certain milestone.
You say that like we're not in a clan.
No. I mean, we've reached the end of our milestones. We've got to milestone 6 where it unlocks everything. But every week, if you did the XP thing for the clans, you got 7 enhancement cores and an engram from the bird for each character. And you can't get that now. And the same with clans that were nearly there hitting each different thing. You can't then get to whatever milestone it is that you're trying to unlock. So everybody loses out with this one.
Mm-hmm. Everybody loses. And really, you were going to lose that anyway because the season would have ended. So would it be nice if they could have fixed it? Yeah. Is it better than all the clans losing everything? Also, yeah. Is it something high on their priority list to fix? Definitely not. So, I mean, at least there's something to just turn off and not break versus being like, hey, we pushed the fix. Oh, it broke everything for everyone. Let's roll back the game again.
In their defense, that is a change, actually. You're joking about saying that. But yeah, normally they push it, everything dies, and then they're like, oh, sorry, we'll just start over. But no, at least they didn't do it this time. So in that aspect, huzzah, Bungie. And the aspect that it's so broken that you have to tell it, stroke, whatever, I'm done.
And at the end of the 12, they just want to remind you that they are doing Triple Infamy next week in Gambit. So go bank those motes. So if you are working on your Dredgen or your Reckoner title, next week will probably be the best week, seeing as it's Triple Infamy. So there should be some more players in there to help, maybe.
Don't lie to people. There definitely won't be.
No, there's going to be more players, but the good ones are going to be on the other team. So be aware of that.
I can absolutely confirm if you're trying to say, put on a full set of armor, you will absolutely run into one other person on your team wearing that full set of armor who will run up and give you a red card because of all the things that happened to me a couple times. I had a hunter. I was running the country set, just trying to get the medals for clearing the blockers, and ran into another hunter with the full sentry set on. And I'm like, we couldn't be anything else. It was just him and I wearing armor. No one else in the game had the armor on. 2 of us, same team. He runs up, gives me the red card emote, and I just dance at him. It's like, hey, bud.
And the one thing I do like is red is my favorite color. Full stop.
People.
And the fact that they made the invader armor, which is what I normally do in Gambit anyway, red, I'm just like, yeah, it makes me so sad. But you also run into the problem Night Demon was having when you're wearing the shiny, glowy red armor and some other idiot jumps in the portal. It's like, hello?
It doesn't have the red armor on, yeah.
Exactly. It's like, you realize that just me existing on their side closes their bank. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, that's
doing the things that you're doing. You know?
That's the biggest challenge in doing these armors without a team. It's, hey, I'd like to do this thing. Do you not know what this means? No, obviously you do not.
Right?
So good times.
And obviously they don't want to win because it's like, I don't even have to go kill them. I can just stand here and be alive and run away from them, and they can't bank their moats.
You invade, put up a bubble, and hide in a corner, and they can do nothing.
Dude, no. Invade, put up a bubble on their bank.
That's also fun. But doing it
so
in a corner
toxic.
and come find you, especially if it's on the side with all the enemies, because then you just have friends to keep you safe.
That happened to me once. I remember the feeling. That's so toxic. And he had the invader armor, so he closed our bank, so we couldn't.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
We had to kill him. You know?
Yeah, invaded, then say, no, I've invaded, but now you must come to me.
Yeah, you must invade my bubble. And I think the bubble outlasted his timer. I think he even left, and the bubble was still there. I'm just like, are you serious?
It's a respawn. It's now time for the Resports Report Roundup.
Ram Shackle Chaka, and thank you for going through the trouble every week so that we can benefit from your hard work. Thank you. Destiny Community. The Google document about everything we know about Stasis so far can be found here. It is a link. Credit to Blue Crew 86 on Twitter, which is also a link. Thank you, dear.
And we'll put that in our show notes for you.
Yes, we will. Related. Cosmo. My favorite. Related. This week at Bungie. It is a link. So where does this link take us, ladies and gentlemen? This takes us to the TWAB. Huzzah. That was obvious. I don't know why I did that. We will give us the feedback of... We will give feedback to the team that the people would also like to see mods for the generalist shell. That's 2 Reddit links. Apparently people are very passionate about this. The cost for customizing ghosts is pretty light and uses Glimmer, legendary shards, and enhancement cores. No need to spend your golf balls on ghosts. Reddit link. Yeah, it is interesting. I still think using cores is a little much. I mean, shards and Glimmer should have been sufficient, but whatever. Feedback. Yeah.
System and everything else uses just hopefully less expensive.
Yeah, hopefully. Feedback to bring back the speaker armor has been forwarded. Full list of... That was pretty nice. Full list of... But we can't wear that if the speaker's dead, right? We can't wear his armor.
It's Spectre, not speaker.
Oh, speaker. Yeah, okay. Bring the kid back. Full list of strikes that will be available free to all players on November 10th. The Arms Dealer, Lake of Shadows, Inverted Spine, Exodus Crash, Insight Terminus, Warden of Nothing, The Hollowed Lair, Broodhold, The Corrupted, The Scarlet Keep, Will of Crota, a redacted one, Destiny's Devil's Lair, and Fallen Saber will also be coming out of the vault in Year 4 Reddit link.
Lead the way.
Wow, he's keeping us sober this week. I'm surprised. Ghosts won't have light levels. Twitter link. Seasons. Nice. That is very nice. Seasons are not included with Game Pass, but you get Forsaken and Shadowkeep. Nice. Twitter link. DMG. This week at Bungie. In all honesty, the best way to approach the TWAB is not to have Oh, he read this last week. I'm skipping that. Bug affecting XP gain for clans. We already read that. Regarding the Truth to Power lore, at this time, no changes are being planned for this ritual, nor acquisition of these lore pieces. As such, put Chronicler out of arm's reach for some players. As we enter a world with content cycling and out of the DCV, they look much more proactive in messaging what things will become unavailable. Twitter link. And Pete Parsons, the CEO of
Bungie
something. Microsoft isn't buying Bungie. Twitter link. Let's say this again. Microsoft isn't buying Bungie. Twitter link. Now, I had a debate about this exact topic with a buddy of mine. I am not a Halo fan, right? I never have been, right? He, diehard Halo fan. And he and I were having this discussion. I'm like, I don't want Microsoft to buy Bungie because then, they have the potential to ruin Destiny 2, Destiny 3, whatever, the Destiny, IP. And he's all like, but look what they did with Microsoft where they were teamed together. They've made great Halo games. I'm like, be that as it may, I see the changes that are coming down the pipeline for Destiny, right? And I'm afraid if somebody like Microsoft did buy them, they wouldn't be there anymore. They would be different, right? I want to see what Bungie has in store for us. That way, if we end up hating the game, we know who to blame, right?
Yeah, I don't think that they'll go back with Microsoft. Although I think this is a different Microsoft to how Microsoft was when originally Bungie was partnered with them, which is why you've now seen this kind of collaboration with the Game Pass. And I think things like this are more likely to happen with Microsoft than Microsoft outright buying them. I think they want to stay independent, which is what they, strive to do over the last couple of years with working with Activision, partnering with Sony for the first couple of years, giving them content. And they've realized that isn't the way to go. The way to go is to be available to anyone and everyone on any platform. And if they shacked up with Microsoft, yes, they still have the potential to do that. The same with Mojang has with Minecraft. They can still be on every platform, still offer the same things, exactly the same times. But I don't see Bungie wanting to go down that route just yet. It may be something that comes up later on.
And even back then, when they were owned by like Activision and whatnot, right? They always had all these PlayStation exclusives and this and that and the
that
other,
wasn't
right?
owned by Activision. That was distributed, wasn't it? It was a partnership.
Okay. But Activision had a part to play in this, and there was a lot of the PlayStation exclusives because of that, right? And even if it is Microsoft giving you Microsoft Xbox exclusives, I don't want exclusives anywhere. PC, PlayStation, Xbox, freaking Nintendo Switch, I don't care, right? I don't want exclusives anywhere. If it's available to one, it should be available to all, especially if cross-platform in any way, shape, or form is going to be available in the future with this whole xCloud thing.
I think that's probably why they're talking to Microsoft a lot more, is because Microsoft have been very pro cross-platform. Sony, the ones that have been, we don't really want it. So if they can get Microsoft on board, and that entails getting it into the Game Pass and then onto PC Game Pass, like you were saying, that's two ecosystems that are then kind of talking to each other. And if you've got two ecosystems outweighing the one that's going, no, we don't want it, you're going to find
they'll
a lot
still
more
go, no, we don't want it.
You'll find a lot more people will then want it. They'll put pressure on Sony. And it's happened with other games, hasn't it? With Call of Duty, it's happened with Rocket League, I believe, Fortnite as well. They put so much pressure on Sony. Sony had to relent and say, okay, we will do this. So I could see that maybe that's why they're in talks with Microsoft for other reasons and not necessarily to do with buying out. I think people
anything you
got
can
their
do to
wires
pressure
crossed.
Sony, I'm a fan of, right? Since you put it like that, yeah, definitely. I hate Sony and their just their ideas, man. Everything's got to be proprietary from their laptops and PCs to their freaking consoles. I hate their proprietary mindset. Just stop. The world is one big place now, right? We're not segregated anymore between different countries. And especially not in the video game world. Stop trying to segregate your PlayStation 5 to do your own thing and just join the rest of the world. Okay? Knock it off.
Yeah, and I think like Nike was saying, in all of those, the Game Pass and everything, and then with Google Stadia, xCloud, it living in all of these worlds, playing across all of them, eventually it's either going to be everybody but Sony gets to enjoy this, or Sony comes and joins the party, or Bungie pulls an Epic and accidentally flips the switch and we have crossplay on Destiny. Whoops, how did that happen? Because that's what they did with Fortnite. I think they said,
how did that happen?
We accidentally enabled this functionality. Oh, look, everyone loves it. Oh, imagine that.
I love how you say accidentally. Somebody had to go in there and program all of this to yeah, yes. Obviously. So there was no accident about it, but they're just like, oopsie.
Yeah, well, like a whole thing with iOS right now, and even how on the xCloud you can't access the xCloud.
Are you talking about iOS as in Apple?
Yes.
Okay, you got to remember, I live in the world of Cisco.
Yeah, Apple's
so Cisco
goes iOS,
yeah, okay.
Which still kind of hurts my brain how those can coexist. But yeah, whatever.
Right.
Most people probably know of one and not the other, or know of one and go, "Oh yeah, there's another one existing too."
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. But yeah.
So our eager listeners have obviously been aware of the fact that there's just the three of us again this week, and there's no Not Arf. Now, he's not secretly going to suddenly just join us this week, but he has recorded some lore to follow on from last week, and we will join him at the beginning of this, and he's answering a couple of questions that I threw out to him about what the fundament is, where is it, how big it is, and he goes into that before he kind of then goes off into the rest of the lore readings. So here it is. It's time for Not Half-Assed Lore.
A couple of questions here. One is basically, where is the fundament? And currently the actual honest answer is there. We don't know. It's planet far, far away. That's all I can say at the minute. And as for the size and what it's like there, all I can say is it's described as a gas giant. So basically you're looking at something the size and shape of Jupiter. So if we move on to Book 1, verse 6 of the Books of Sorrow, these were found by collecting the calcified fragments on the Dreadnought. A register of tokens and gestures exchanged before the end of sisterhood. Zyro, my brave sister, you have worked too hard to move the carcasses out of the birthing room. Come, steer the ship for a while. Take joy in what our needle can do. Zyro tried to protest, but secretly she was glad for Orash's care. She flew the needle ship in cutting circles down beneath the sea, and their wake rose up to the surface like a traitor's dying breath. Orash, lonely navigator, we have travelled so long with only each other. And know you love to hear and speak new tongues. Come sit in the flesh garden room. I will read these stories I brought at Kahan. Orash sat among the mummified flesh fans, with two of her eyes closed, listened in silence to Sithona's voice, hungry to understand, voracious to know as much as she could before her 10-year life died. Later, Zyro said, Sithona, cutting mind of ours, you grow lonely in the thought. Play swords and lanterns with me. Sithona was heavy with sorrow, and couldn't pretend any joy as she chased Zyro through the needle's glistening halls. Sithona, pensive one, what is it? What troubles you? Her sisters listened as Sithona said, both bearing siblings, we are 5 years old. 2 years we've worked to repair this ancient ship and understand its systems. I'm almost too old for the Mother Jelly, and the knights who killed our father are surely dying of age. We 3 will die here, in exile. Aox will outlive us, and Orash, brilliant-eyed Orash, you will die of old age long before you have any proof of your god wave, or any way to stop it. Orash and Zyro looked at each other. I wish you weren't so honest, Zyro. And Orash thought that Sithona had never been wrong. In her soul, Orash knew that the only way to keep their oath was to find a great, powerful secret. A secret that could change everything. This was Orash's soul, her fire, her shadow, her desire to cut through the flank of the world and find its beating heart. We have to dive, Orash said. That's what this ship is built to do. Dive into the fundament, the world below us, towards the core. That's where the ancient crew died so obscenely, Zyro protested. That's where the atrocity in the birthing room was born. We have to dive, Sithona said. Following the whispers of a familiar, in this world beneath us, in the metallic depth, I hope we may find what we need most. More time, more life. Book 1, verse 7, The Dive. For life, Sithona dove. For vengeance, Zero dove. And Orash dove to understand. The needle ship pierced the skin of the world and burrowed deep. Through layers of foam and metal and cold elemental slush, Orash devoured the ship mast of fundament. From the high angelic cloud decks down through the storms and oceans, plates of floating world into the crush of the core. They meant monsters of continental scope, vast anemones that raised glowing tentacles to bait them in. Zyro threw the needle ship through them, and they bled black carbon, jelly, and frost. They came to a still place, beneath a plate of metal. I'll use the censored, whispered Orash. Listen. In the wet gold dark of the helm, they listened to the ship. They listened to the crushing motions of the fundament. They heard the collision of continents. They heard the patter and crash of helium neon rain. They heard the struggles of monsters, and they heard the distant groan of the ocean rising, tugged by distant moons. The syzygy is real, Sathona hissed. It is already begun. Behind them, Zyro thought of the birthing room where ancient explorers had laboured over surgeries and administrations, peeling back chrysalis and the core of what they had made. From the deep, whose birth none of them would survive. There's something down here, she whispered, something secret. And the Leviathan loomed over them, its brow as huge as all the continents of their childhood, its great array fins crackling with the lightning of its life, booming into the hull of the needle in a microwave voice.
You must turn back. Save yourself from the deep. Save the world from yourselves. You must turn back.
Book 1, verse 8. The Leviathan's warning. Live on the edge of a war. War between formless and form, between the deep and the sky. My eyes are wide, my gaze is long. Across the universe as far as I see, the sky works to charge its fires, and the deep drowns in the ash. Sky builds gentle places, safe for life. Beloved fundament, refuge for trillions. Sky treasures this rich place. But the deep is here with us. Old logic tests our walls. The deep claims its dominion. A ruthless final age. Orash's protest. Old Leviathan, creature of myth. This world is no refuge. We are short-lived. Hard lives. We die in the dark. Storm above us will never end, and soon the God wave will take us all. Above us there are only storm joys, monsters and moons of apocalypse. Let us go down, where we may discover truth, some power to avenge ourselves upon our betrayers, some hope of survival. The Leviathan's hope. What power calls you down to the deep? What instinct draws you away from high hope? Quick-breeding krill people, I tell you, for eons I have watched your struggle, clinging to the sharp edge of survival, balanced between the deep and the sky. You were my treasure, proof against despair. For this is the deep claim. Existence is the struggle to exist. When the struggle seems lost, when the safe place crumbles, everything turns to the deep to survive. I reject the deep claim. You will turn back, sweet krill of hope. You will choose the sky instead. Zyro's protest. You are huge and old. Our lives are short and desperate. If that's the way of the world's supposed to be, I won't have it. If people like Teox are supposed to win, I won't let them. I'll beat the world until it changes. I'll kill anything in the way. The Leviathan's dirge. This fatal logic. In my monopole scream, it will consume you. Before you lies the worship of death, the ruinous path. Sky builds a new life. Against the onset of ruin, towards a gentle world. The deep embraces death. Saying, this is inevitable and right. I exist as hungry ruin.
Turn back from the world of the killing way, or you will live as death and devastation. The sky is the harder way, but it is kinder. My charge is balanced, my voice exhausted.
Thona's process. Sisters, I have my father's familiar look. It answers me in plain words. It helped me find the ship. It gives me strength where hope is lost. Who will you trust? The voice that wants us to live and suffer as we have lived and suffered. The Leviathan that offers no hope against Teox or the world wave, or the plain honest worm. Let us see where its whispers lead us. Orash, let us go deeper. Zyro, let us dive. O sisters mine. Verse 1:9, the bargain. You are Orash, heir to the Osmian throne. You stand on the naked hull of an ancient ship. You stand exposed to the crushing pressure and ferocious heat of the deeper fundament. it should annihilate you. It is by my will alone you survive. I am Yul, honest worm. Behold my passage, behold my vast displacement, my ponderous strength, my great coiling length, my folded jaws and curled wings. Behold the hiving cities symbiotic with my flesh. I am fecund, Orash. I am at the beginning and end of lives. Behold, Aya and Zol and and Akka, the virtuous worms. Look upon us and know that we are good. For millions of years we have been trapped, growing in the deep. From across the stars we have called life to fundament, so it might contend against extinction for millennia. We have awaited you, our beloved hosts. Again you stand at cruel Leviathan and all the forces of the sky. They would crush you down in the dark. They have arranged their moons to drown you in fear of your potential. We want to help you, princess. We offer you each a bargain. Symbiosis. Take into our bodies our children, our newborn larvae. From them you shall obtain eternal life. From them you shall gain power over your own fragile flesh. The power to make of it as you will. Should you find an imperfection in the world, an injustice or inconvenience, you will have the power to repair it. Let no mere law bind you. We ask you one thing in exchange, O princess. You must obey your true nature forever. In your immortality, Orash, you may never cease to explore and inquire for the sake of your children. In your immortality, Zyro, you may never cease to test your strength. In your immortality, Thethona, you may never abandon cunning. If you do, your worm will consume you. As your power grows, O princess, so will your worm's appetite. But we offer eternity, Orash. We offer you chance at the universe. Would you deny your people infinity? Reach up to me. Let my flesh be your sacrament. Verse 2.0. Mortals. We are the worm, your god. Flesh of hope, our compact is done. You are Orash, eternal, and we are bound to you as close as your appetites, as your love or needs, as the weapons in your fists and the word in your throat. We've had enough of this dismal place, haven't you? We are intagliating your ship with larvae. Go back to your species. Spread the good news in the osmium court and the hydrogen fountain and the bone plaza and the star surgery. We will rise up into the world. If anyone rejects symbiosis with our children, make an example of them. A mighty wave is coming for them all. They'll die anyway. Save only what can be saved. Worm grants you power over your own flesh, Orash. When you've taken the king, what will your adult name be? Oryx. It means long thought. We approve. Verse 2.1. Conquerors. Savanthan, mother Morth of Thethona, delight in your sharp mind. For millions of years the Leviathan caged us here. It is a pawn of the sky, a philosophy of cosmic slavery. The sky seeds civilizations, prededicated on a terrible lie. That right action can prevent suffering. That pockets of artificial rules can defy the final beautiful logic. This is like trying to burn water. Antithetical to the nature of reality, where deprivation and competition are universal. In the deep, we enslave nothing. Liberation is our passion. We exist to help the universe achieve its terminal self-forging glory. The war rages on. Soon it will consume Fundament. Pleased with your use of our larvae to create mighty knights and plentiful warriors. Deox's retreat to the hydrogen fountain proves your superior strength, but you must know that reclaiming your home is not enough. There are 511 species living on Fundament. One of them must have the technology you need to leave this world. Verse 2:2. Zivu Orath, Night Morph of Zyro. You love to conquer, don't you? You love to see your work. Nearly 2% of Fundament's surface is now our dominion. Your species embraces the worm. The syzygy has passed. The God wave will reach you in less than 2 years. Our organs inform us that Teox and her surviving fusilists flees towards Khan Atoll. She hopes to rally the species of the Fundament against you. Leviathan's agents work tirelessly to destroy ships and engines, trapping us on the Fundament. If we cannot make ships, we will become them. Overwhelm the Khan Bastion. Slaughter everyone there. From your acts, we will obtain the logic we require to cut space open and migrate to orbit. Reality is a fine flesh, O General ours. Let us feast of it. 2-3 into the sky. You've done well, Oryx. Can you feel the growth of your worm? Can you feel your will beginning to warp mere law? At times we detect a sadness in you. Understand, Lon Thinker, that you enact a sacred and majestic task. Existence is the struggle to exist. Only by playing that game to its final unconditional victory can we complete the universe. Your war is divine work. We are free from the Fundament's core, and Savanthan's cutters are ready to fly. With Zethu Orath victorious, we have opened a wound at Kahan, a wound leading to a geostationary orbit. We are faithful to our covenant. We have no future on Fundament, but her moons will make fine habitats. Let us rise. I think that's possibly a good place to leave it.
So this week I only have a few tips, tricks, guides, and builds for you.
Nonsense.
No, honestly, it all just seems to be the same kind of things this week. It seems
it's all Traveler's Chosen.
It is, and as soon as we covered most of the builds last week, I found another 3 builds, one for each class, that are kind of not meta, but they seem very interesting to use. So the first one is by Grey Gaming, and this is the best Arc Hunter PvP build that he's got, using the Gemini Jesters. So this is when you dodge, it kind of confuses your opponent's radar and puts kind of a red haze above their head. And sometimes they get so confused they don't even know where you are. So you could be standing in front of them and with a shotgun and they don't even know. So he pairs this on, I think it was Top Tree Arc Strider, and he uses the Traveler's Chosen and goes to town with this. And it's a really good build. And as he said, it's kind of not one that's being used really with the Traveler's Chosen and Gemini Jesters. And as I used Gemini Jesters the other week in Iron Banner, I used it with a 1.0 set of armor. I had my dodge 100% all the time, and I was going invisible. So I was on Top Tree. What's the Top Tree? Void something? Shooty bow person?
I just use it. I don't care what it's called.
Top Tree Void Shooty bow thing. That's the one I use. So I was invisible all the time, running around with the shotgun and Traveler's Chosen. So this is, again, like I said, on an arc build. Then iFrostbolt has got a really good one for you, Parody, with the Mark 44 standard sides.
Void build.
No, this is for the Titans.
Right, but on the Hunter, was it an arc? Because you said you said top tree shooty bow person, then you said this
he was using that. The build is arc, probably because in the arc build, if you dodge near an enemy, you can get your punch back. Exactly. That's probably why he was doing it. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's too early. I wasn't following. Understood. Yeah. Carry on, sir.
So this next build from iFrostbolt is for you, Parody, using Titans, Top Tree Sunbreaker, and he's using the Mark 44 standard sides. So these are the ones that every time that you get a melee kill, it returns a portion of your melee energy back. It's roughly about half. So if you can spec out with 100% strength, you could get your melee back with the Traveler's Chosen pretty much instantly. And he shows you that the Top Tree with the center, Top Tree Sunbreakers are really, really good. Stronger than the Arc Strider one, where you're running around and shoulder charging.
So it's an insurmountable skull fort without having to be on an Arc subclass.
We don't wear the insurmountable skull fort. You wear the Mark 44 standard sides using the Traveler's Chosen. So if you can clean up a kill or get another kill, reload the weapon, you've then got your melee back again. You can run around and just shoulder charge with your solar ability. And again, he's pairing it with, I think it's the Truth Teller again.
No, I hear what you're saying. All I was saying is, like, It sounds like it behaves like the Skull Fort without actually having to wear the Skull Fort or be on an arc subclass. You just get your melee back instantly if you do a thing.
Yes, near enough. Get your melee back. And then he's got one again with the Traveler's Chosen and sun braces for Warlocks. So this is the Sun Singers, and with your top tree Sun Singer, where if you get a melee, you can throw out those. So they're solar nades, aren't they? The ones that kind of just, as you throw them out, they kind of just burst into a big ball of flames and just sit there. And if you've got the sun braces on, they last longer. And it's very similar to how you had with Destiny 1. If you get a melee kill with the Sun Singer, you literally can throw out, I think it's for 5 seconds, unlimited grenades. So you imagine that playing Control, shutting down a complete area.
Well, I've seen that firsthand, that one of our guys on my raid team on PC does exactly that every time we do a raid. He starts off, he melees the first stupid little Vex enemy, and then you see a hail of freaking grenade fireballs at the enemy's downrange.
Nice.
Visually speaking, it's like the 4th of July here in America, where we have lots of fireworks, not the one in Britain where you cry. See what I did there? That's an American independence joke, you snob. Anyway,
what's the matter with you?
I don't know.
The last one I've got for you this week is from Astagros.
Oh, it looks so good. I want to try that out so much. Sorry, go ahead.
Using the Lucky Pants on the Hunter. So this is, it'll ready your weapon and give you better accuracy when you pull out a hand cannon.
Mm-hmm. So what he was doing is, I would pair it with the mountaintop, right? Because in PvP, unless it's light level enabled, use the mountaintop. He was using a different grenade launcher, though.
Think about it. Where is the mountaintop? Which slot is the mountaintop in?
Oh yeah, that's fair. So he was using the void replacement for the mountaintop that everybody's calling it the replacement. Pretty much the same loadout. Yep. Pretty much the same loadout, except he's using, instead of spike grenades, he's using proximity grenades. His intention isn't to kill the enemy, but to clean up the enemy, right? So he lobs this grenade launcher out, which detonates near an enemy, and then the freaking last word instantly comes out. Like, you don't even see the transition. And then when it pops out that quickly, he has increased accuracy and some percentage of increased damage. So it's just like pop, pop, dead. I'm just like, good Lord, man.
And the reason he's got the increased damage is because on the truth teller that he's got disruption break. So that's when you break the shield. Mm-hmm. So he can, as long as he kind of gets a hit on the enemy, especially in PvP, it breaks their shield. He can whip out his last word instantly and clean up with the kill really, really quickly. And he said this is a better loadout than some of the Traveler's Chosen ones that he's been enjoying with the last couple of weeks. Or the last week.
No, this thing is.
He said this is a lot better than that. And I can imagine, because you've got that pairing, haven't you, which works really well. I mean, you could, if you were going to stick with the sidearm, use the trick sleeves, isn't it? The Mechanist trick sleeves, which is, again, you can pull out your sidearm a lot quicker. And if you are at low health, it does extra damage. So, yeah.
And if you're not a last word user, you should be, because this is nasty.
So that's it for this week, from me anyway. Kind
of
pretty much covered. I know. It's a very short week. There's not that much to discuss.
That's not a thing.
It is. There's two links I found that I want to add to our. One can go in our show notes forever and ever, and one can go in our show notes for this week. So the one for this week, I stumbled across this phenomenal Twitter feed called Destiny Borbs, Destiny BORBS, where this person has apparently been doing this since D1, which I had no idea. He pairs a shader from Destiny with the bird of a matching color, which
yeah, I saw that.
It makes me laugh. And of course, number 121 is Dawn and Dusk and purple-breasted Kohinga. So go follow Destiny Borbs on Twitter, because it's phenomenal. And smile, because you get Borbs and shaders. What's not to love?
Yep. And one of our clanmates was trying to prove to me that he had the shader when he clearly does not. His Photoshop skills are just really good. So in this instance only, I'm going to give you a week to get Dusk and Dawn and Dusk, right? If you don't have it, you're getting banned from the clan, dude. Sorry. It's not my rule. I'm just enforcing it.
I do think we need to have a discussion with Bungie, though. They claim it's dawn and dusk. It's absolutely dusk and dawn. I have called it that from day one, and I will never call it the right thing. It just
because I mean, when we think about it, we all think of that Quentin Tarantino movie, right, with the same name, and that's why they had to reverse it, probably for copyright reasons. But it'll never be the other way. It's always going to be what you just said. Yeah,
I always think about it as the big pink Titan in Iron Banner armor with the sweet people going, "Oh God, it's this guy. This is going to go horrible."
Mm-hmm. With your big shoulder pads with the seashells and whatnot. Oh no, you're the samurai, right? Yeah, you're the samurai. Somebody else is the seashells. Disregard.
I am not Ariel's dad. I do not live under the sea. And the other link I found this week, actually, there's one more I wanted to mention. But the other one we should put in our show notes is someone has put together cosmodrome.page, which yes, .page is apparently a top level domain you can make now. Apparently, it's developed by Cram RM, Aaron Z. Barron, and Mythical M. They put together basically a massive resource of Destiny resources. It's a huge page of just all the things in Destiny, sort of sorted by, platform. Is it an Android app? Is it an iPhone? Is it a Discord thing? Is it a collections thing? A clan thing? LFG pages? Places to find lore? Places to find maps? So they've taken the 4,000 things that you can go to in Destiny to find different bits and pieces and sort of put them together and categorize them and tag them as to what they are and what they can do. So there's a ton of resources here, some I've never seen before, and a couple like Braytech Condemn and Little Light that people are aware of, and some there's apparently a bot called Marvin. Don't know what Marvin does, but apparently he's a Destiny bot. So there's a ton of resources here. So if you're just looking for other resources in Destiny, or saying there must be a way to get this information or to do this on the platform I'm on, it's likely in here. So cosmodrome.page is just a massive list of all things Destiny, basically all the things the game should have and doesn't. You can find them here.
Parody. Let's stop for a second and think about this, right? Number one, you should absolutely visit these guys' site. And if for no other reason than this reason alone, let's stop and think the amount of time and research had to go into finding all these things, right? And do you have any SQL experience, Parody?
No. Computers are hard.
Do you have any database experience?
I look at them.
Well, as somebody that's had to create SQL databases and other databases, I can tell you the amount of work involved to do exactly what you've described is nutters. They had to have been doing this for like a year, maybe more, So kudos to you guys. Great freaking job. I haven't been to your site, but I guarantee I will. If you took that much time to do this, I'm gonna at least look at it. All right, man.
That's an endorsement right there.
Right?
Didn't you just start this by saying I went to the site or I'm looking at the site, and then 30 seconds later say no? Okay.
No, I didn't say that. No.
Okay.
I'm saying you should go to the site, right? Because if they put that much work into it or whatever. But yeah, go ahead and post that link so I can go ahead and click on that, because that is worth a look, my friend.
That's all we do, really, is keep these links in the show notes just for to kind of go back over and go, which week was that we talked about that? And we go, go to episode 52, and it's on that one.
Yeah, and if for some reason their massive list of, I don't even know, 60 or there's a lot of resources. If for some reason the resource you like isn't here, there's a nice little page at the top that says suggest, and you can suggest another resource. Give them the link, give them what it is, and I will assume they will add it to this massive list. So yeah, if there's something you don't need, something you're looking for and don't have, cosmodrome.page.
P-A-G-E or P-A-I-G-E? The verb or the noun?
Which one do you think? There's a silent Q there somewhere too.
Look, I'm not using common sense for this, okay? Oh my God, there's a lot. Holy crap. Hold on. No. He's not joking. Hold on. Wait, no, stop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I
10,
wouldn't
11, 12,
mind
13, 14, 15, 16,
Real-time
17.
reactions here, guys.
17 pages of resources. Holy biscuits.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't lie to you. There's a ton of information. If it's not here,
if it's not here, it doesn't exist. I'm sorry. There's no way it's not here.
there's 21 different resources for stats alone.
There is. And I love how they put next to it what it's good for, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Brave Tech for Google Play. It shows you progress, maps, stats, rotations, planning, collections, clans, and mobile app. And it's a mobile app. They even give you descriptions what the hell it's used for on the side, dude. Awesome.
Yeah. And you can even click on a tag to filter it. If you're just looking for a particular subreddit or an Android app or a Discord thing, you can just sort by that and just see those bits and pieces.
Yeah. Hey, this is for collections. This is for community. This one's for Discord. This one's inventory. Damn, guys. I'm going to bookmark this right now. Bam. Bookmarks bar. Bam. Got it.
So that's Cosmodrome.page. And if for some reason you made it this far into the podcast, questioned your life choices, there's also DestinyPodcast.com, which is a massive list of Destiny podcasts that our good friends Kingsley Mack and Sin maintain over at the Guardian Hub. So if you're tired of us and want to listen to somebody else, go listen to them. If not, just come back and listen to us. We will give you all the good TWAB goodness and give you real-time reactions to information. So that's what we're good for.
Respawn. I've put something in the podcast info that you need to do.
Oh, I see. All right. Yeah, sure. I absolutely could do that. Thank you, Sonny and Callum from Cavendish School in Eastbourne, England. Really appreciate you listening to the show, recommending it to your friends, and forcing us upon your loved ones. Not in the way that'll get us arrested. Thank you, and have a great day.
That was so unlike you. I thought we were going to give them some kind of backhanded compliment.
That was a backhanded compliment. Them forcing us onto their parents and loved ones. Yes.
Just forehand compliments today.
There was some cynicism in there, as long as it doesn't get us arrested, it's fine. Yeah, but no, the fact that you have people like your kid and these guys in England listening to us obviously means that they have good taste, right? And if they're joining the Respawn army, then, just more of us to rise up against you Titan knuckleheads.
Keep it like that so I can hear. There you go. You're going to say goodbye to everyone now.
Bye-bye. But can I say one more thing?
Of course you can.
Where's Respawn Twinkle?
What?
In episode 90, you said Robot Respawn is going for repairs. Where did he go?
Yeah, he's still in for repair.
Oh. Robot Respawn had a firmware upgrade and it crashed his CPU, so now we have to replace everything.
Well, it wouldn't take 100 days.
It would take actually even longer because the parts are outsourced from places that are infected with COVID right now. So, unfortunately, it's going to take us a while.
Night Demon's robot.
No, wait, what? Night Demon's robot. Night Demon's robot also died?
But doesn't it respawn? Because you made Night Demon. And Night Demon made a parody and respawn.
I mean, no one respawns in real life, and I think no robot respawns in.
Well, robots don't have sentience yet, so they can't respawn. They can be rebuilt, but they can't respawn until they have sentience.
Yet.
Well,
Right,
I
yeah.
would have a respawn system if it was a respawn robot.
Well, the thing about it is when we tried to implement the respawn system, Parity said no, and that's why the robot is now broken, because the firmware update included the respawn system, but because he denied the part that we needed most, he killed the robot without the respawning. So you can blame your father for that one.
Are you
I'm
happy with that answer?
Still not his father.
No.
Parody, just take it away before this goes downhill even further.
Oh,
I will take this away, but I'm going to mention real quickly, there's a massive PvE breakdown of nearly every damage-resistant mod, exotic, and ability that was put together by the Back Benetti on Reddit. We'll put a link in the show notes. He has not only a damage-resistant cheat sheet that's a one-page guide for what does this resistance do, how much resistance does it give you. There is also spreadsheets, charts, and he tells you exactly how they tested, where they tested, what was tested. So if you're looking to do Nightfalls for farming, if you're looking to do Rage, if you're looking just to say, I want to be a little more resistant to things, he has all the information you would ever need in a beautiful, glorious spreadsheet. So I'll put that Reddit link in the show notes because Reddit links are long and ridiculous, and I refuse to read them. And with that, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Parody and Night Demon. Your Hunter is no one responsible in real life, and Phoenix the Demon. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can find the show on Twitter at twotitansandahunter. We're on Instagram and Facebook at the same place. If you need raid help, go to the Guardian Hub or the Guardian Downcast. We're here for offer raid hindrance, trials hurt, and all the giggling and British accents you could find. You can find all your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live, Respawn on PC. You can watch the show on YouTube, listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. And remember, as we get into this new season of new consoles, you're looking to go for your PlayStation 4 to your PlayStation 5. However, if you're on the Xbox side, it's a little more complicated because we've gone from 1 to 1S to 1X to the Series S to the Series X to the Xbox Chain of Memories to the Xbox 358 and a quarter days to the Xbox Rebirth by Sleep to the Xbox Recoded to the Xbox 3D Dream Drop Distance to the Xbox HD 1.5 Remake. So if you just remember this simple naming scheme, you can find the new Xbox.
We actually went from the X to the S, which was a downgrade. So your order is a little wrong there.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to blame your favorite grandpa on Twitter for this lovely progression of Microsoft Xbox games. And with that, gents, say goodbye.
Deuces!
What are you going to say?
Why?
Not a question. You have to say goodbye.
No.
No more questions. Goodbye.
Why?
No, just
Why
question.
did everyone sound like a robot every time they were trying
This
to...
podcast.
When? Just now?
Yeah, when Parody was finishing in... I had him go like robot parody. Is robot parody broken in the
Yes.
background?
Just say goodbye.
Robot Parody is broken inside.
Tell him say goodbye, Guardians. Goodbye, Guardians. Or have him say deuces.
Goodbye?
Bye-bye, everyone, except for Night Demon. Night.
Hey, no, have Phoenix say deuces. There's got to be deuces. Come on, do it.
Deuces.
I love it.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. It has all been live.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Respawn's not gone.
No, I meant parody.
Parody.
It's pronounced poultry. Get it right.
No, you don't.
It's pronounced packaging.
Purdy, your cat. Purdy.
Purdy? You're a cat?
Meow, it's time for more Destiny news.
Meow. Oh, God. Next show, you got to see how many times you can say meow. Super Troopers reference.
Love it.
Phoenix, it was great hearing from you, kiddo. Yeah, I'm going.
That's it. It's finished.
Yep.
No,
Right.
if it was finished, you would have cut some out, and you would have cut Purdy out.
It's not finished until Craig leaves, really.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's not.
It's
It's
finished.
not over.
It's over.
No, Parody hasn't left yet.
Give me the headset.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
Give me the headset.
Get your grubby hands away from me. It's mine.
All right. I'm going to let you guys fight that out. See you later.
Never.
Right.
Never.
They've gone. See that?
No.